So compared to sodium, beryllium has higher ionization enthalpy, and compared to sodium, potassium has got a lesser ionization enthalpy. So for BuNaS, Bu stands for butadiene, S stands for styrene. Every molecule of water can form 4 hydrogen bonds. Xenon, which is most easily liquefiable. Hello my dear students, a warm welcome to all of you. Today I shall solve Karnataka CET 2008 chemistry question paper for y'all. So we'll see the first question. The correct order in which the ionization potential increases is option A, sodium, potassium, beryllium. Option B, potassium, sodium, beryllium. Option C, we have potassium, beryllium, sodium, and option D, beryllium, sodium, potassium. So we have three elements, that is sodium, potassium and beryllium, Be. Okay. Now we know that along the period when I move, the ionization potential or ionization enthalpy or ionization energy increases because the atomic size decreases. And as we come down the group, the ionization enthalpy decreases because the size increases. Correct? Now compared to sodium, beryllium has got higher ionization enthalpy. Compared to sodium, potassium has got lower ionization enthalpy. So the order will be potassium is less than sodium and sodium is less than beryllium. So we have to see the option. Option B is the right answer. Okay. The next question. 10 cm cube of 0.1 normal monobasic acid requires 15 cm cube of sodium hydroxide solution whose normality is option A 1.5 normal, option B 0.15 normal, option C 0.066 normal and option D 0.66 normal. So we are supposed to find the normality of sodium hydroxide. This question it's a monobasic acid. Acid is monobasic. Volume kottidare, normality kottidare. Amele base do volume kottidare, normality find out madbeku. It's a very simple question where you have to use N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. This I shall write for acid and this is for the base. Okay. So acid normality is 0.1, volume is 10 cm cube. Normality of the base I need to find out. I'll keep it as it is and volume is 15. So N2 will be equal to 1, that is 10 into 0.1 is 1, divide by 15, that is 0.066 normal. So option C is the right answer. Fine. So we'll go to the next question. The IUPAC name of tertiary butyl iodide is, before I look into the option for the IUPAC name, I can directly write it off and then look for the correct answer. So tertiary butyl iodide is carbon which has got CH3, CH3, CH3 and iodine. This is tertiary butyl iodide. Now how to name this? I'll take this as first carbon, second, third. For second carbon atom, I have a methyl group and the iodo group. So I have to look. It is 2-iodo, 2-methyl propane. Okay. So we'll see where it is. 4-iodobutane wrong, 2-iodobutane is wrong, 1-iodo is also wrong. So it is 2-iodo, 2-methyl propane. Option D is the right answer. Correct? So we'll go to the next one. When sulfur dioxide is passed in an acidified potassium dichromate solution, the oxidation state of sulfur is changed from +4 to 0, +4 to +2, +4 to +6, +6 to +4. So we have to find out the oxidation number of sulfur. How is it changing during the reaction? So sulfur dioxide is passed through acidified potassium dichromate. So I'll take this as H2SO4. So what are the products formed here? sulfur dioxide with potassium dichromate, which is acidified. That's why H2SO4 I have written. The products which are formed here are K2SO4, Cr2, SO4 thrice and water. I have not balanced the equation. For me, balancing is not important here. Only the change in oxidation number I need to get. So this, if I take it as x minus 4 I'll get is equal to 0, x is equal to plus 4. So sulfur here is in plus 4 state. So here if I calculate the oxidation state of sulfur, it is in SO4 2 minus state. So x plus minus 8 is equal to minus 2, x is equal to plus 6. So this is in plus 6 state. So it is changing from plus 4 to plus 6. So option C is the right answer. So I hope you have understood this particular problem or question. Next we will go into the fifth one. Mass of 0.1 mole of methane is 1 gram, 16 grams, 1.6 grams or 0.1 grams. Again, it's a very simple question on mole concept. So, methane is CH4 and the atomic mass is 16 grams. We know that 1 mole of methane is weighing 16 grams. So, I have to find the mass of 0.1 mole. So, 0.1 mole, how many grams? So, it is 0.1 into 16 divided by 1, which is nothing but 1.6 grams, and option C is the right answer. So, we'll go to the next question. Methoxymethane and ethanol are option A, position isomer, option B, chain isomers, option C, functional isomer, option D, optical isomer. So, ಯಾವ ತರ isomers ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಮೆಥಾಕ್ಸಿಮೀಥೇನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ CH3O CH3 methoxymethane. Ethanol is C2H5OH. So, you see 2 carbon atoms illu eradiದೆ. 3 plus 3 6. So, 5 plus 1 6. O and O are there. But here it is an ester. Here it's an alcohol. So, it is functional group is different, isn't it? So, it is a functional isomer. Option C is the right answer. So, we'll go to the next question. When azimuthal quantum number has the value of 2, the number of orbital possible are 7530. So, L value is 2. What is the formula to find out the number of orbitals? It is, I'll write the full formula, number of orbitals is equal to 2L plus 1. So, it is 2 into 2 plus 1, which is equal to 5, and option B is the correct answer. Can we go to the next one? For the reaction Fe2O3 plus 3CO gives 2Fe plus 3CO2. The volume of carbon monoxide required to reduce 1 mole of ferric oxide is 22.4 dm cube, 44.8 dm cube, 67.2 dm cube, 11.2 dm cube. So, they are asking us what is the volume of carbon dioxide which is required to reduce 1 mole of ferric oxide. So, ಎಷ್ಟು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮೊನಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. From the equation, its balanced equation, I get to know 1 mole of Fe2O3 requires 3 moles of carbon monoxide. Correct alva? 1 mole requires 3 moles. And 1 mole of carbon monoxide occupies 22.4 dm cube. Now, you might think 22.7 is the standard value, STP conditions, that is the volume occupied by 1 mole. That is at present where the conditions have changed. This is the paper of 2008. Okay. So, at that point of time, the STP condition standard pressure was 1 atmosphere. At 1 atmosphere, the volume occupied is 22.4. Now, we are considering it as 1 bar where the standard volume occupied is 22.7. Okay, that's the reason there's a change in value. I'm taking the old version only. So, 1 mole of carbon monoxide occupies 22.4 dm cube. So, I require 3 mole. how much? So it is very simple. 22.4 into 3, that is 67.2 dm cube. Now you might think that it's not necessary that I write all of this. Yes, I can do this calculation mentally. I just have to look into the equation. 1 mole requires 3 moles of carbon monoxide. So 1 mole of carbon monoxide requires 22.4 dm cube of volume it occupies. So 22.4 into 3, it is 67.2. I don't have to write. No one is asking us to write. You have to pick the correct answer in your competitives. But I am explaining you all how to do it. That's why I am writing all these steps. Okay. So answer C is the correct one. Next question. The monomers of Buna S rubber is vinyl chloride and sulfur, butadiene, styrene and butadiene, isoprene and butadiene. So for Buna S, Bu stands for butadiene, S stands for styrene, isn't it? So it is styrene and butadiene. Option C is the correct answer. Okay. Next one. An element with atomic number 21 is a halogen, a representative element, a transition element, and alkali metal. See, atomic number 21, it's very simple. I shall just write the electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d1. So it is filling the d orbital. So it should be a transition element or a d block element, which is also called as transition element. So option C is the correct answer. Okay. Next question. The maximum number of hydrogen bonds that a molecule of water can have is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now water molecule is like this. It has got 2 lone pair of electrons, another 2 lone pair of electrons. So one more water molecule I can write here. One more, it can form hydrogen bond here. One more I can write it this way, and the other one I can write it this way. And now the hydrogen bonds are formed like this. Between these two, there's a bond. Between oxygen and hydrogen, one hydrogen bond. Between the lone pair and one hydrogen, between the lone pair and another hydrogen. So every molecule of water can form 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hydrogen bonds. So the correct answer is 4, that is option D. I hope you have understood. We'll go to the next question. The gas deviates from ideal behavior at a high pressure because its molecules attract one another, show the Tyndall effect, have kinetic energy, are bound by covalent bonds. So what is the question? A gas deviates from ideal behavior at high pressure. Why? Reason now helbeku. Yake deviate aagta ide high pressure alli. Okay. So what exactly it is? When I increase the pressure, okay, when I increase the pressure, I push the piston, volume decreases, and what happens is molecules are very close to one another. They come very, very close to one another, and the force of attraction increases, correct? Due to which a pressure correction has to be applied and they will deviate from the ideal gas behavior. Why? Because of they attract one another. They do not show Tyndall effect. They have kinetic energy, but pressure, if you increase kinetic energy, will not increase much as bound by covalent bond. Even this is wrong because it's gases. Okay, so here why exactly, at high pressure they deviate? It is because the molecules attract one another. Okay, so that's about this question. Next one, the reagent used to convert alkyne to alkene is zinc with HCl, SN with HCl, zinc amalgam with HCl, palladium with hydrogen. So you have an alkyne, R, C triple bond, C, R. This is an alkyne. You have to get it converted to alkene, that is R, CH double bond, CH, R. Okay, so what you're doing, you have to break a bond and hydrogen has to get added up, or reduction, and that is possible with palladium as a catalyst and hydrogenation. So option D is the right answer. Okay. Next question. When compared to delta G naught for the formation of Al2O3, the delta G naught for the formation of Cr2O3 is higher, lower, same, unpredictable. See, we are going to compare delta G naught of formation of Al2O3 and for the formation of Cr2O3. We know that Al2O3 is negative and it is less than Cr2O3. It is less than Cr2O3 because this is stable and it is easily formed. You have to just look into your Ellingham diagram. You can see the line of Al2O3 and Cr2O3 where exactly it is present. You will get a clear idea. This is less than Cr2O3. That's below Cr2O3 line. Okay. So, correct answer is it is less than Cr2O3. When compared to delta G naught of formation of Al2O3, then delta G naught of formation of Cr2O3. Cr2O3 is greater than Al2O3. So, it is higher. It is option A. We'll go to the next question. In order to increase the volume of gas by 10%, the pressure of the gas should be increased by 10%, increased by 1%, decreased by 10%, decreased by 1%. So, what is the pressure volume relationship? Boyle's law. Pressure is inversely proportional to the volume at constant temperature. Correct? Boyle's law. So, in order to increase the volume of the gas by 10%, this has to be increased by 10%, then the pressure has to be decreased by 10% because they are inversely proportional. So, the correct answer is to increase the volume by 10%, the pressure has to be decreased by 10%. So, option C is the correct answer. I hope you have understood this question. We'll go to the next one. Catalytic dehydrogenation of primary alcohol gives secondary alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, ester. So, primary alcohol, what does it give is the question. Now, RCH2OH. So, this is a primary alcohol. This on catalytic dehydrogenation, that means we are removing hydrogen, isn't it? So, using hydrogen and hydrogen, that is in the presence of copper at 573 Kelvin. So, we will get RCHO, that is here one hydrogen is removed, a double bond is formed between carbon and oxygen and CH will remain. So, you will get an aldehyde and hydrogen gas is liberated. So, option B, aldehydes are formed. Okay. So, we'll go to the next question. Excess of PCl5 reacts with concentrated H2SO4 to give chlorosulfonic acid, thionyl chloride, sulfuryl chloride and sulfurous acid. Excess of PCl5 reacts with concentrated H2SO4 like this. PCl5 plus excess of H2SO4 I have taken. It will give SO2Cl2, POCl3 and HCl. I haven't balanced the equation. You will get SO2Cl2, that is nothing but sulfuryl chloride, SO2Cl2. Okay. So, answer is option C. Next question. If 1 mole of ammonia and 1 mole of hydrogen chloride are mixed in a closed container to form ammonium chloride gas, then delta H is greater than delta U, delta H is equal to delta U, delta H is less than delta U, there is no relationship. So, what is forming here? 1 mole of ammonia we are taking, 1 mole of HCl is there, this is also a gas, this is also a gas, you will get ammonium chloride gas, NH4Cl gas. Now, if you see, it's a balanced chemical equation already. So, I have 1 mole, I have 1 mole and I have 1 mole. Okay. So, what is the relation between delta H and delta U? We have to find out. So here delta H is equal to delta U plus delta NG RT. Now delta Ng is number of moles of product which is gaseous minus number of moles of reactant which is gaseous. Product I have 1 mole minus reactant I have 1 plus 1 2 mole. So the answer is minus 1. Correct? So if I put that over here, delta H is equal to delta U minus RT. So delta H is less than delta U. So option C is the right answer. We'll go to the next question. A compound on dehydrogenation gives ketone. The original compound is. What is the compound which gives ketone on dehydrogenation is what they are asking. Primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, tertiary alcohol or carboxylic acid. It is secondary alcohol. You can see here CHOH. It's a secondary alcohol. H and H is removed, you will get a ketone. So it is a secondary alcohol which on dehydrogenation gives ketone. Okay. Next question. Which is the most easily liquefiable rare gas? Xenon, krypton, argon, neon. It is xenon which is most easily liquefiable. Okay. So this is the first 20 questions of part A of Karnataka CET 2008 question paper. Thank you, my dear children. Stay tuned for part B of KCET 2008.